Hey, what's going on, y'all? RJ here with CV Tech, and today I'm going to give you my first thoughts and opinions and impressions on the Blue Life 1 X2. Now, I've had this phone for a little bit here, and I've actually used it quite a bit on cricket. Use it a lot, actually, and I got to say, I'm very impressed in this Blue device. Now, I always kind of judge Blue phones in the past, but I've been saying here lately, never judge a phone till you use it, because sometimes you got to eat your words. And this phone right here, I got for a very good deal, just a few dollars over $100, brand new. And this phone has been very solid. This phone feels very kind of heavy, very solid in the hand. Has a removable back, however, not a removable battery. And you do have your SIM card and your micro SD card back here as well. I'll leave the back on for just right now. Now on the back there, of course, you have your camera, your flash on the bottom there. You got like your kind of like your fake antenna bands up top, and the bottom there is kind of chromed out. I don't really know about all of that. On the bottom, looks like a dual speaker system. However, one is a mic or one is just for show, and one is a speaker. Micro USB. On the left here, it's nothing. It's just clean. On top is of course, your headset jack. On the right here is your power and your volume rocker there, and of course on the front you got your front facing flash, camera, sensors, receiver. On the bottom there is your fingerprint scanner, and of course also your home button. Let's go ahead and power the phone on here, and honestly, looking at the home screen here, the screen looks very solid. I think it's a full 1080p display. Let's go ahead and go into CPU-Z here, which I always go and look at everything. So this phone here does run a Snapdragon processor. Most of these Blue phones run MediaTek. However, this one here does run Snapdragon. And honestly, I hate to part ways with this Blue phone because it's such a really nice phone. But it does run a 1.4 gigahertz Snapdragon 435 octa-core processor with a 505 Adreno GPU. Of course, like I said, it says screen size is 13 inches. It does say it's full 1080. Of course, 2 gigabytes of RAM as well as 16 gigabytes of ROM. However, you can buy these versions between 2 gigabytes of RAM and 16 gigabytes of ROM, or 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of ROM, which will be a whole lot better in performance. If it's any better than the way this here performs, that would be a very solid device and all that kind of good stuff. Fingerprint scanner down here works very well. Phone is very, I hit the wrong button there. Phone is very smooth. Not much hiccup whatsoever. I do have Nova Launcher on here like I have on all my phones. But the phone just works very well, very smooth. And I've not had really any lag, any hiccups. I mean, of course, there is a little bit of lag here and there. It's an Android phone. Android phones lag. That's just the way it is. Now, cameras seem to be pretty solid. The front flash really helps out. I done a live stream the other night from this phone. It was dark with a flash on, and it did seem to do a pretty good job, and the battery held up very well. Now, I believe it's got a 3,000 milliamp hour battery in there. If it's any different, I'll leave it down below. I'll leave it here on a card somewhere, wherever it may be. But I got to be honest with you, the phone has been very solid. Now, I did not think I would like the rose gold color, but it's kind of grown on me a little bit. I mean, after having it for a while, it looks kind of fancy looking and everything. And of course, blue is always good enough to give you this frosted type case. So you just put it in there just like so, and you can look at it there, and it pretty much hides the fact that it's rose gold, except for right yonder, and this little cutout right here that kind of shines in good light, which makes it a really nice looking color. And this thing really grips really good with this case on here, so I always leave it on there for that extra protection and all that kind of good stuff. Now, fingerprint scanner is pretty solid. Right now I'm doing it kind of catty cornered, and it's not wanting to match up, but whenever it does work, of course it does work pretty fast. So there you go, it does work. Now, of course, you got your drop down here, of course. You got all your stuff here like Wi-Fi, location, flashlight, caster screen, hotspot. You got manual mode, auto mode. A lot of this thing has a lot of camera settings, y'all. I go into the camera here. You got like a face beauty mode. In the front camera, you can got touch shot, flash mode, self timer. You know, you have 1080p recording, all that kind of nice stuff. And on the rear camera here, it has pretty good focus. Focus seems to work very well. And you've got like touch shot, switch camera, flash mode, picture guide, just a bunch of stuff on here. And you got normal, face beauty, pro mode, panorama, HDR, night, sports, scene frame, just a bunch of really nice features on this phone. And so I really have nothing negative to say about the phone. Call quality is solid. Call quality is really good. Reception seems to be pretty strong as well. Always got LTE. And it's got a 5.2-inch display. That might be kind of small to some, but to me, it's really nice in the hand. Don't feel too big, don't feel too small. To me, it's just perfect for my liking. And with this case on there, the buttons are just right to where if I want to put this in a windshield mount, you know, I ain't got to worry about setting it up in there and hitting any of the buttons, nothing like that. It really seems to hold us on pretty well. Gameplay, I've not really done a lot of gameplay on it, but I would expect it would do pretty decent. You know, about like any other phone with this kind of processor and RAM in the phone. So, you know, what do I think about it? I mean, the bottom speaker is kind of tiny. It gets kind of loud, but it's tiny. It's not the best sounding speaker I've ever heard in the world, but that's not a big deal. This phone costs us a little over $100, and I think it is a definite buy for $100. Now, my biggest gripe is not being able to go live on YouTube. I've done everything I can. I've reset the apps. I have done this, uninstalled everything. I've done reinstalled. I've done all kinds of things I could do. When I first got the phone, I was able to go live on YouTube, and all of a sudden, boom, it just stopped working. So not really sure what's going on there. If it's a phone, if they don't want, if Cricket don't want, or YouTube don't want blue phones to go live. I don't know what the deal is, but every other unlocked phone I have goes live no problem. But the blue phone just will not work. Everything is updated and and ready to go, but it just does not work. So not really sure what's going on there. But honestly, solid phone. I'd highly recommend it. Just my personal opinion. Now, at the end of this video here, I will show you a front-facing video, just like this right here, with no microphones. Just a microphone on the phone. Lights is going to be the same. Give you an idea of how it looks if you like to do vlogs, self videos. This is what kind of quality you can about expect. Now, outside, you could be a lot better, could be worse. I really don't know. But I'm going to go ahead right now in this part of the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and stay tuned at the end of this video here for a brief front-facing camera sample in full 1080. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, y'all, so this is the front-facing camera of the Blue Life 1 X2. And I'm recording it now in full 1080. Of course, no mics, no nothing like that. Just straight out microphone from the phone and just the lights above me and everything else. Now, I did have one glitch when I first started recording this here on this phone. It did freeze up, but it only happened one time and it works fine now. So full 1080, I'm very surprised in the quality, the way it looks right here. It looks pretty solid. Has a front-facing flash as well. So that would help out in lower light environments and everything. Of course, you know, without really knowing how it's going to sound, it's going to be a surprise to me too whenever it gets uploaded and everything. But as of right now, the way it looks, the front camera looks very solid. So I hope this was helpful and informative. If it was, hit the like button. Any questions or comments you may have, leave it below, and subscribe if you ain't. I'd appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see y'all in the next video.